Okay, let's start with some basics. So the first step would be to go and get a copy of Blender from the website. So if you go to blender.org and then you click on download, here you just download whatever is the latest official release, which is 2.8, right? So that's the one I'm going to be using, but hopefully, I mean, if you watch this tutorial later on, whatever the latest official version would be, just download that one. So far, Blender 2.8 is the latest one. But also you can get like most recent builds. If you go here, you can get, for example, 2.8, 2.82. So these are builds where Blender guys, they add some new features and stuff like that, which are super useful as well. And most of those builds are quite stable, I would say. So don't be afraid of downloading the alphas and betas. Of course, it would crash sometimes, but it is what it is. But with this one, we're gonna stay safe. So once you download it, you just unpack it, unzip it, install it, and you will have something like this. So I wanted to start very default, right? Because like often people modify the Blender and you start following the tutorial and you have zero clue what's going on. Here, I wanted to make sure that you guys get it from the very beginning. And as we go, obviously, I'm gonna be modifying it slightly, but at least you will know step by step what exactly I was adding and improving and all that stuff. So before we start, I'm gonna just activate this add-on here, just so you guys see what I'm doing a little bit better. And let's just resize the size. So, okay, where is it? Perfect. So now you can see what I'm actually clicking, right? Or what kind of keyboard and mouse combination I'm using. Because as you know, like when I talk, sometimes I think I'm saying something specific, but then obviously I can make mistakes calling left click, right click, and vice versa. So in order, if I screw it up, and 100% I will, just check this out and you will know exactly what I was doing. So let's hide this panel. And now start from the very first step, right? Which is navigation. So if you have your object here, so how do you navigate in Blender? And this is like entry point, like first entry level of frustration for a lot of 3D artists coming from different other packages, because they expect it to be Alt and left mouse. That's how Maya works, Max works, and other 3D packages work. But in Blender, it's middle mouse. And like first when I started out as well, I was super frustrated too. I was like, why would they do that? But as I kind of got used to it, I actually realized it's actually even better, because you just use one mouse, one click to do that. Instead of having two keys clicked at the same time, you're using one, which makes it like more logical and superior. Obviously, the tendency here when you get frustrated, and I know if you're new to Blender and you're coming from a different package, you will be very frustrated. So you will start, oh, can I change my navigation to Maya, to Max? I would say don't do this. Trust me, like I did it myself, and I have friends who did it too. They would use it for half a year and then they will realize they don't get, like, all the shortcuts get so mixed up, so you always have conflicting things, and when you watch tutorials you just running into lots of trouble. So leave it like this, get frustrated for a week too, but once you get used to it, the sky is the limit. Okay, so navigating, rotating your camera is middle mouse, right? Shift, you can pan. Shift and middle mouse, this is where you pan. And Control middle mouse is where you zoom in and out. Very straightforward. Rotate, pan, zoom in and out. That's it. There is nothing more. And there is also Alt, where you can snap the different different angles. So Alt, and you drag up, it basically swaps between orthographic views. And Alt Shift is where you can snap, but not as aggressively, you know, which is also very cool. Also, you can do it via numpad. You can press 9, 7, blah blah blah, but I actually never use it. The only one that I use on numpad is 5, where I need orthographic view, which is super cool if I want to frame something. But there's this one little annoying thing. I have no idea why it works like that. So I will be very honest, if there's something annoys me in Blender, I will shoot it out straight away. So look at this. Like, I rotate, and then I constrain, and I go to my orthographic view. I do my modeling, or I move my camera, and then when I start rotating again, it snaps back to perspective. I was like, what is this? Why they did that? I don't know, but there's a way to fix it. So if I bring up my preferences menu, just go to navigation and uncheck this auto perspective. Boom. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So as you know navigation, which is kind of like what we do, there's one more thing I wanted to mention, is that normally when I use Blender, I rarely use mouse. So far you've seen me using mouse, but normally I use my Wacom tablet, just because there are a lot of tools in Blender that you basically can use as a drawing tool. You know, it's less of a 3D package. It kind of has 3D features, but also like the way you do things, it's so like tablet driven. It's so driven by moving your hand, not just with the mouse. It's almost like drawing something. So if you want to do that, you got to change something from the very beginning. So if you have a Wacom tablet, you open settings here, and in settings here for your pen, like for whatever pen you're using, add Blender. So find Blender from here, click OK, and here you gotta change this one clicks to middle click and this one clicks to right click. So I have two pens, so one of them is Art Pen, but you see pretty much like for Blender, this is the way I modified them. So middle click is this button, and upper button is right click. So that allows me to do exactly what I'm doing here. So middle mouse rotates it. And yeah, just make sure that you have it, otherwise you will struggle. You will have slightly different responses. What else do we have? I mean, 5 is orthographic view, and also as a part of navigation, if you want to zoom, like frame your object, you click dot. Basically, dot frames your object, and then, like, let's say you were having a lot of different objects and you want to zoom on a specific one, you press dot and it boop, zooms in. Also, if you press slash, it will go to like isolation mode. It will just show you that object. So between this and that, it's super cool, because sometimes you will have a very big scene with a lot of things in